Okay. Update this, na?
Fantastic performance from Afghanistan in the first Super 4 game. Yes, folks, 175 for 6. Rahmanullah Gurbaz. Imagine what his IPL team missed. What a sensational performance from the young wicketkeeper Rahmanullah Gurbaz, 84, followed by, if I have to say, Ibrahim Zadran's 40. Simply magnificent. And Afghanistan have posted a very imposing 175 for 6.
Absolutely. Even if it's going to be easy to bat under lights, chasing 170 odd is never easy, regardless of the circumstances.
Nope. And remember, folks, this is yet again another stiff chase for Sri Lanka. They chased a total much higher against Bangladesh.
Correct.
184 they had to chase to make it to the Super Fours. They did it. Here, yet again, it will all depend on Kusal Mendis, Chamika Karunaratne, Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Patum Nisanka. So the batters will have to do their job really, really well. But sadly, the bowling did not live up to expectations yet again.
For Sri Lanka, I think that's been a consistent problem for them.
Yes, that is the reason why Sri Lanka have underwhelmed so badly in T20Is. Mahish Theekshana yet again 4 overs, 1 for 29, but the rest of the bowlers, Madhushan was simply expensive, although he took 2 wickets, and Shane will be pumped up a bit more because his team Chelsea have won.
No, they haven't yet.
They haven't? Oh man, we got a
no problem. There's a thriller going on here, and we're watching everything. So
Yep.
you know, we
Sport,
do have
F1, Asia Cup, whatever you want,
whatever
we
you
are
want.
covered.
Yeah.
And so Afghanistan could have managed 190 or 195, but unfortunately they lost wickets in clusters towards the end. But Rahmanullah Gurbaz, yet again, for the second consecutive time against Sri Lanka, he had hit 41 against them in the opening game. Here, 84 of just 45 balls with 4 boundaries and 6 sixes.
Yeah.
Every 6 that he hit was being middled. It went to the top tiers in Sharjah. And remember, the boundaries in Sharjah are not that big.
Yeah.
One good hit, it can land on the road also.
And the thing with Rahmanullah Gurbaz is, I think if he can continue developing the way he has been, he can actually provide that much needed firepower atop the order, which I think Afghanistan, their batting at times can look a little passive.
Yes.
That is one major problem
King
they
D,
have.
I really, really agree with that point. They should have reached 200, but they lost wickets towards the end that dented their momentum slightly. And looking at the way how it is, Sri Lanka pulled things back in the last 5 overs, considering that overs 1 to 15 are actually difficult and the last 5 overs are actually easy to bat on.
Correct.
Here it was a total reversal. The first 15 overs were good to bat on. I think we have gotten that standard T20I template back, wherein you go bang bang in the power play and then build on it.
Conservative, yes.
And on top of that, this is not a typical Sharjah wicket, folks. Perhaps the trend is changing in the Asia Cup. Perhaps. So that is the thing. Ball was not coming onto the way except Gurbaz. No one looked comfortable. Prakash Jha, I do agree with that. But again, Sri Lanka did themselves no favors. I mean, the catch that was taken of Gurbaz, the fielder just stepped on the boundary rope and then Gurbaz made them pay. Yes, when you bowl the cutters, you try to dig the ball into the pitch. It was not coming on that easily. But Gurbaz was in a different zone altogether. Imagine his IPL team, Lucknow Super Giants, right?
Yes, he didn't get
He
a
didn't
game.
get a game. Imagine what would have been if Rahmanullah Gurbaz had gotten a game and Matthew Wade was not an opener, but rather a designated finisher.
Can you imagine an opening lineup of Gurbaz and Gill? Ooh.
Wow. One aggressive and that X
And an
factor.
accumulator.
Gill is class. Class altogether. And that is why you see Afghanistan are in a rather good position. They can make it 3 out of 3, but the Sri Lankan batting, let me say yet again, after that failure that they had in the first match, they have really, really stepped up. What happened to Hasaranga? Not getting wickets lately. King D.
I think it's becoming predictable. A little too reliant on the googly.
Both Yajuvendra Chahal and Vanindu Hasaranga, remember, they had topped the IPL charts in the bowling. What do you see in the Asia Cup in them? I think
Vanindu's got 1 or 2 wickets.
Yes. Although in the game against Bangladesh, he got 2 wickets, but he was carted around.
Absolutely.
And again, he became a Sri Lankan version of Ravi Bishnoi in the game
the previous
Bangladesh.
match. Yeah.
Just
He was
googlies.
googlies.
It just does not make any kind of sense in that sense. So, Rahmanullah Gurbaz, the top scorer with 84. Ibrahim Zadran with 40. And Shane, you can see that's beam.
thank God.
That smile is much brighter than the ring light that we have got because Chelsea have won.
2-1. Thank God, what a match that was.
But they did not
Jesus.
play a very strong.
No, but
opponent.
no, West Ham are like they were top 7, top 8 team last year, so they are actually a decent side. And to
Okay.
be fair, the Premier League, because they distribute the prize money so well, every team is actually pretty well equipped. There's no difficult,
Yep.
easy games, let's say.
Piyush Nandre, Washington Sundar is in the scheme of things. He's
No,
gotten
he's
injured
got an
yet
injury
again.
again, so-
And stay tuned for the special video that I'll do right after this live. It is on Rahul Dravid's PC. And the key facts that he said in that, very, very interesting, in-depth, and some misconceptions are going to be cleared
Yeah.
as to what is it about the Indian team outlook, not just for the Asia Cup, but for the T20 World Cup. It makes for very interesting reading and viewing, folks. Do check out that video. That'll be out soon. What about tomorrow's match? Do you think Ashwin will get a chance or tomorrow in place of Avesh Khan?
Look, I think Ashwin is already almost guaranteed a start considering
Well,
there's no Ravi Jadeja.
Rahul Dravid has called him one of the best off spinners in the world at this point in time. Off spinner. Right now, there is a preference for leg spinners in the T20 format because they are not that vulnerable. If an off spinner bowls, maybe perhaps they are a bit vulnerable. But T20 format off spinners, not many in the world.
Actually.
And Rahul Dravid has said that we have at our disposal one of the finest in the business. So
I think he's...
as I said, lot of interesting comments by Rahul Dravid in the PC today.
yeah, absolutely.
And what about tomorrow's match? I said Avesh is not well.
Yeah, so there is some doubt over as to
Yes.
what exactly is going to be the team combination because again, it's worth remembering that India have actually three pace options including Hardik,
Yes.
which means that Avesh dropping out. Suddenly, what are you relying on Virat Kohli to bowl more overs?
Oh well, it remains to be seen what India make it of it. But maybe more spinners. Ankur, will the group points be carried from Super 4? No.
No.
Top 2, final.
I like Manikant Reddy's thing that he says that Afghanistan don't look like dark horses; they just look dangerous. I mean,
Absolutely, I do agree with that. Afghanistan team, in fact, is the team to beat. And don't be surprised if they manage to reach the final because they have the ammunition, they have the ammo in all the batting and the bowling.
Absolutely.
Not in the literal sense, ammunition that in the case of Afghanistan, be very, very careful. They have all the firepower in the batting and the bowling. And remember, they are playing back to back. Their final Super 4 game is against India.
yeah.
And perhaps, and Rajat Agnihotri has got a shout out for you.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview with Drew. I'm not sure how much more WWE coverage we do, but I mean, if you guys are big fans, then let Nikhil know on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep. Piyush Nandre is saying, thank God Afghanistan is not in India's group in T20. Piyush, one thing I will just specify in this, the conditions in Australia might be totally different to the conditions in the UAE.
actually.
And remember one thing, Afghanistan have played a lot more T20Is in the UAE than if you can even think about as Sri Lanka, India or even Pakistan.
Exactly. I think there's only been select few players of Afghanistan who have regularly played in Aussie conditions. That's also because of their involvement in the Big Bash League.
But I'm interested for the November 4th clash because Australia versus Afghanistan in Adelaide. Rashid Khan, Adelaide Strikers.
the Adelaide Strikers, man.
Very, very
Should
interesting.
be very fun,
folks.
especially if we can spin webs around him like,
Yep.
he normally does.
And out come the Sri Lankan openers.
I love how short their mid-innings breaks, huh?
Yeah, because again, unfortunately, you have exceeded the time.
Has
I
there
think
been a
it's the
match?
heat.
Has there been one match where anyone's actually kept to the time quota till this point?
Afghanistan, Sri Lanka.
There we go.
First game. Because they got all out for 106. And Pakistan. Hong Kong got all out for 38.
38, yeah.
They have kept it. So yeah, Gurbaz show, Pradeep Srivalsan, Pant in for KL tomorrow, DC for Ravindra Jadeja.
Yeah, DC can't come in yet officially
Yeah,
because he's only part of the reserve. So unless something happens and someone gets declared injured and then you can bring in a replacement, only then are we seeing DC, i.e.
Yeah,
Deepak
the
Chahar.
protocol is, see, Aksar was in the reserves, but only because Jadeja got injured.
That's why he got called.
That is why he got the call up. And if suppose Avesh, if there is an official statement that Avesh is ruled out, then and only then DC Deepak Chahar might come in.
Yes, anyway, we'll just
Rajat
take your leave.
Agnihotri terming it a lucky win for Zimbabwe. Okay, they were lucky in one
Some
or two ways.
Sure.
Imagine one full toss getting hit straight to short mid wicket, and some guys just missing a straight leg spinner. what do you call that? It's all bad application, but yeah, the commentators did not acknowledge Zimbabwe's win that much.
Their role in the win, you can
But
say.
you live for those days when David beats Goliath, and today David slew Goliath in Townsville. So
Also, King D, to answer your question, yes, Avesh it's been confirmed that he's a little unwell right
Yes.
now. Rahul Dravid confirmed it in the PC today.
coming up, the video on Rahul Dravid's PC.
So
key
do
talking
check
points.
that out, and of course keep the match on one side because the match is about to go. In fact, has started. There's already been a boundary hit. So we'll take your leave for now, guys. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for joining us, and of course subscribe, tap the bell icon, follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as well. Last but not least, download the SportsTech app. They're giving you all the updates from this match. So do that.
Vanakkam.
Bye bye.